All right, thank y'all for being here. This is gonna be a quick combined organizational meeting slash committee meeting. First item we have, I'm gonna just say that we have 11 members, so six people will establish a quorum. And next, I'd like to recognize Senator Bailey for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to nominate Senator McClendon as Secretary of the committee.
We have a nomination of Senator McClendon for committee secretary. Any, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, I'd like to recognize Senator Barry for another motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to adopt the chairman's rules for the committee with the exception that any motion to reconsider can be disposed of on the same date as entered.
You've heard the motion. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Now, Mr. Secretary, do we have a quorum?
Quorum present.
Quorum's present. First, but we're going to skip down the agenda. Senator Barrett is going to present Senate Bill. We're going to call up Senate Bill 2418. Let him explain the bill.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senate Bill 2418 is often referred to as a prohibition or a ban of geoengineering. At first blush, this seems like somewhat of a conspiracy bill. A lot of states are undertaking bans on or prohibitions of geoengineering. The activities associated with atmosphere are not understood completely as it is. Other states have taken on bills such as this, including Florida, Tennessee, Arkansas, South Carolina, to name a few. But ultimately, what this does is it amends Section 4917(5) to include geoengineering. And it's very specific in that is the intentional injection, and this is in line 104 of the bill in front of you. Geoengineering means the intentional injection, release, or dispersion by any means of chemicals, chemical compounds, substances, or apparatus within the borders of this state into the atmosphere with the express purpose, I will say again, with the express purpose of affecting temperature, the intensity of the sunlight. I'll be candid and say, after I filed this bill, I've received multiple emails from weather engineering companies where there is scientific proof to clouds are seeded, rain is produced. And again, as I said in my prologue, this is not understood completely, so there may need to be some tweaks made to this. But I think this is a start. I certainly have many constituents that send me photographs of what they refer to as chemtrails. And I've spoken with many other members of the committee regarding this, and they too received these photographs. So ultimately, this would ban or prohibit those substances from being sprayed over the state in an attempt to safeguard the state. I think it would show an affirmation of our care for public health, safety, and that we think those things come first when it comes to our citizens of the state.
Thank you, Senator Barrett. I know we got at least one question. Senator Delano.
I think I want to make an amendment at a proper time.
Any other question? Senator Barry.
I also have an amendment at the proper time, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Delano for amendment.
I believe the proper place would be on 201 through 203. And but I think what I would like to do is to exclude work that's done by our IHL centers of research for work that they do pertaining to individual research projects that they may be conducting.
Yeah, and I would have no objection to that. I think we are all, as a state, and I'm using the term we, are trying to ascertain what benefits and deficiencies these geoengineering aspects are, how they are affecting us. And I think in order to do that, I think Senator Delano has a good amendment, and that is we need to research it. So as part of that, I would agree with Senator Delano's amendment.
Okay. Well, we have an amendment on the floor or in committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Senator Berry? Another,
Question on the bill.
before the another amendment?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to amend starting at line 108 after sunlight, a new sentence that simply states that nothing in this section shall be construed to prevent the use of pesticides, herbicides, or fungicides on farming and ranching operations in the state, or correct verbiage if the lawyer comes up with something better.
Okay.
And in response to that, Mr. Chairman, again, subsection H says this is the intentional injection, release, or dispersion by any means of chemicals, chemical compounds, substances, apparatus with the borders, with the express purpose of affecting temperature, weather, or the intensity of the sunlight. So I don't think that would be included, but I certainly don't object to the, I understand that Mississippi's an agriculture, largely reliant upon agricultural means for making money, so I would not object to that.
All right, so we're on Senator Berry's amendment. Is there all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Now back on the bill. You got a question, Senator McGlinnan?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Is drift included in this? You said Louisiana is not one of the states. Would drift be included in this? Would Louisiana be liable as drift would come across?
I don't know if Louisiana has a bill similar to this. I think the state can only control, enforce our laws of our state. So that would probably be a federal question in terms of what the state can do with the drift. I would defer to an environmental lawyer on that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions on the bill? For a motion?
Title sufficient do pass as amended.
Committee stuff?
And so add that too.
All right. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That bill will be reported. All right. Next, I'm gonna call up Senate Bill 2414. We've got 4 bills that come to us from the Department of Environmental Quality. Senate Bill 2414 it's very short. It just changes there's a place in there on the advisory council that used to list the Mississippi Manufacturers Association. And since it's merged, this is kind of cleanup language, and it replaces it with Mississippi Business Alliance, and it changes the number on, I think there was one more that was taken out, so it changes the number of representatives from the industries that serve on that advisory council. That's all it does. Any questions on the bill? Or motion?
Title sufficient do pass.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. That bill will be reported. Next is Senate Bill 2415. Is another, we got 3 more of these from the department. This is their efficiency bill. Let's see, I'm trying to tell you what line. Why is that changed on? 218. 218, it says, in regards to having, uh, public hearings, it just basically states that the Department of Environmental Quality, may host such hearing or meeting, Jackson, well, it says in Hines County, within the county or municipality where the permit is required, or via an online platform. So what they've been telling us is that there's a lot of times they have these public hearings and they have to travel 2+ hours, 3 hours away, and nobody shows up for these public hearings. They are certainly still willing to have them or have no problem having them. But if there doesn't seem to be enough interest to have them, they want the ability to have them online or and located in Jackson. That is the, and then there's one piece at the very end of the committee sub that it just says it deleted language that charges a $10 permit fee for water wells. And I think they said it's gotten to be more trouble than it's worth trying to collect $10 for the permit, and just deleted the fee off of that. And that explanation of the bill. Any question? For a motion?
Talent sufficient to pass committee sub.
All in favor? Oh, we have to adopt the committee sub.
Move to adopt the committee sub, sorry.
All in favor? Any opposed? All right, back on the bill.
Talent sufficient to pass committee sub, sorry.
All in favor? Any opposed? That bill will be reported. Senate Bill 2760. Another department bill. Recognize Executive Director Chris Wells to explain the bill, if that's okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now, the short version of this is the statute currently specifies a specific office within our agency for a particular program. The idea here, again, is this being part of an effort to be more efficient within the agency. The idea is to just remove the specific reference to that specific office and allow me the flexibility to deploy programs and people where most efficient.
Any more questions? For a motion?
Talent sufficient to pass.
Any opposed? I mean, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That bill will be reported out. Got one more. We got one more we're gonna let Mr. Chris help explain to us. It's Senate Bill 2761. It's their proposed lead paint legislation. This is another department bill, and he's gonna tell us a little bit about it.
The short version on this one is we're responsible for two programs under the Clean Air Act. One is related to asbestos and the other is related to lead-based paint. Both of those programs deal with remediation, demolition of buildings and that sort of thing. Last year, there was a bill introduced and passed by the legislature to modernize the asbestos program statutes and align them better with current federal law. And frankly, for future federal law. And the idea behind this bill is to do the same thing to the lead-based paint program. So it's the same thing that was done last year in relation to the other program. This one is just the other program.
Thank you, sir. Are there any more questions? Questions about the bill? All right, for a motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That bill will be reported. All right, now the last bill is, let's see, Senate Bill 2252. This bill, Senator Brumfield's bill, it is basically what it does is we have industrial, commercial, industrial hazardous waste facilities in the state operating now that are able to get permits. And basically what we have understood on this situation is that if you can afford to do it yourself and you can do it on site, then you can pump your own and it's hazardous waste into the ground on site, but you can't take it to anybody else's property. This bill seeks to give DEQ the permission to permit a commercial hazardous waste facility, injection facility. I can tell you that I have visited with Mr. Wells at DEQ, Ms. Alice Perry. I visited with two different people at Mississippi State University, two professors at State. And I've talked to the oil and gas expert at MDA. Most of them refer back to Chris Wells and say whatever he thinks. And he doesn't oppose it, but their department's staying neutral on this from what I understand. So, recently we've had a lot of questions on the bill, and I don't feel like I've been able to answer them all as good as I'd like to. But in the interest of trying to keep the bill alive, I think Senator Lano's got a committee sub or an amendment.
Yeah, actually, I think the committee sub has been disseminated. And we have it here in front of us.
Okay.
So
Great.
the committee sub would have a reverse repeal in it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All right, we need to adopt the committee sub. That move? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, now we're back on the bill. If you have questions, we can,
A question.
all right,
So basically this bill is just giving DEQ the ability to go through the process of investigating and whether to permit one.
that's right.
Okay, so it doesn't require one, just give them an
No,
opportunity
it
to
just
look
is-
into it.
Commercial is not allowed under current law. This just allows them the ability to be able to permit a commercial facility.
Okay. That seems like what y'all are here for, is to test these things and to look at the pros and cons. So thank you.
Any other questions on the bill? For a motion? All in favor? Bill, yeah. Rise and report. We have a motion. Rise and report.